Welcome back to the Taranis QX7 series of videos. If you have not been following along, look in the description below. You will find a link to my playlist. In the last video, we took the back cover off and adjusted our sticks. We got the throttle to no longer self-center, and we went ahead and set up the tension for throttle, yaw, pitch, and roll. While I still have this apart, I'm going to finish taking it apart because I plan on hydro dipping it, which will be the next video. I do want to go ahead and say that I already know someone's going to say, well, JC, you did this that way and you could have done it this way, and I'm just going to say it's my transmitter, I'm going to take it apart however I want. I mean, it's a very basic thing to do. And, you know, same thing goes for you. You don't have to do it the way I'm telling you, do it however you want. The very first thing I want to do is take these nuts off for all my switches. If you look at it, there's two little grooves on both sides. I'm sure there's some kind of tool made for taking these on and off. What I do is just take two flathead screwdrivers and kind of do it this way and just give it a little push, and that loosens it right up. And there we go. I'm going to go ahead and take the rest off and fast forward the video right now. Okay, I'm back. Got all the nuts loose. One thing I did forget to mention, and it's something I did before shooting this video, I just took a marker and I marked everything to help me remember where everything goes. For example, both these look exactly alike, but I've got this number 1 and then this number 2. I also have a L for left side and R for right side. So I got one L, one R, you know, and you don't have to do it that way, do it however you want. You can use a piece of tape if you want. I don't know, just get creative. Then for these switches, because they look alike, I've got them numbered 1, 2, and 3, and 4, 5, and 6. Some guys will take their switches and flip them all up or flip them all down, or they'll put a piece of tape over it and mark on the tape. Once again, just do it however you want. These things right here, they just pull right off. Well, I wouldn't say they pull right off, it actually takes some pressure. And then you have two more of these nuts holding them down. Now, I've never taken this apart before, but I would imagine this has to come off for you to be able to pull the rest out from the other side. I'm going to wait until I get to that point because I want to, I guess, see what all my options are before I try taking this off and possibly breaking it. But I guess if you guys are watching this video, you'll know what to do ahead of time. This little motor right here is how the Taranis vibrates, so we need to pop this out. And now I'm going to start taking screws out, and always keep in mind, I keep the screws separated because there will be different lengths, and I don't want to mix up the lengths. This will help me remember where all the screws go. Also, I'm going to take out as many screws as possible and remove as much stuff as I possibly can without disconnecting any of these cables, because by not removing these cables, that will further reduce my risk of breaking anything. Not only that, but it also helps me remember how this all goes back together. Okay, I've removed about half the screws, and before I go any further, I want to, I guess, figure out what I'm going to do with the antenna. This is exactly like it was on the Taranis X9D, so I can tell you that getting this thing off by pressing these two pieces in and pulling out without breaking it is a major pain in the ass. It would be nice if this antenna would just pull right out, but it doesn't because something is stopping it from coming out. So because we can't pull the antenna out, and because I don't want to pull this off and potentially break it, my two options will be, I could just break it off and go ahead and do the antenna mod like I've done on my Taranis X9D, but I really don't feel like doing that right now, and in fact I plan on making that a separate video. So for now, what I'm going to do is just remove this hot glue and desolder the antenna, and once I'm done, solder it back on. This is a very simple process, but if you're not very good at soldering, then I do not recommend doing this, because if you overheat these pads and the pads fall off, then you have to get a new module. Also keep in mind that it's not just soldered in one place. You actually have the shielding wire, which is right here, soldered to one larger pad, and then you have the signal wire separately soldered on the smaller pad. So it's two separate solders. And whenever you put it back on, it has to go back on in the same way. And obviously the solder from the ground wire cannot contact the signal wire, or your range will be greatly reduced. So what I'm going to do is just take my tweezers, heat it up a little bit while pulling up, and there we go. Now I will continue taking the rest of the bolts out. Okay, all the bolts are out. The only thing holding everything in is this right here. I don't know if there's any other teardown videos on YouTube or not. I really haven't looked, but judging from the back side of this, it looks like you do kind of slip this off. So I guess we'll find out if that works or not. And looks like that works. Now just to talk about the bolts real quick, like I said, you always have different sizes, but I was surprised that there's only two different sizes. You've got this group of bolts that was used for basically everything except for the gimbals, which use these 8 larger bolts. Oh, you can't see. Holding these, the wire loom end, you have a bolt right here and another one on the other side. Just to keep these two separate from every other bolt, I just put them back in place, and I'm just going to leave them right there. So now I only have 2 different sizes of bolts. The screen is still in place. Before I risk damaging anything, I'm going to remove this ribbon. So for this ribbon, we can just take a flathead screwdriver and push this locking tab up. Once the tab is unlocked, the ribbon should just slide right out. There it goes. Now let's pull the switches out. For the microphone, for now, I'm just going to disconnect it. And because I did not disconnect anything else, I know exactly where it goes. And that is why I did not want to disconnect any wires, because now everything is still connected to one another, which will make reassembly so much easier. Looks like this part on the back side of the screen just lifts off, and the screen comes right out. Looks like the microphone just peels right off. There's some kind of steel mesh on the inside, but I'm just going to leave that there. We've got a nut holding on the lanyard clip, so let's take that off. And that was a 7mm, by the way. It's still stuck in place, but this does not screw out. You actually need to pull it out. You can see from this D-shaped thing that if you try to screw it out, you're just going to break the plastic. The power button is being held in place. It looks like they melted the plastic right here to make a little bubble holding it in. I mean, I guess you could try using pliers. Yeah, there we go. And then once I reinstall this, I'll just use my soldering iron to melt it back. Now for the screen, this is going to take me a minute to figure out without breaking anything. Okay, fast forwarding like 3 seconds. This black part actually just comes right off. And then this part is going to be pushed through on this side. Just make sure you clean your fingerprints off before you reinstall it. And there it is. It's just stuck on with like double-sided tape or something. And there we have it. The front face is done. Let's go to the back. So I'm just going to take this right off. We've got some more nuts holding this handle on. These little things do come off of the handle, so what I'm going to do is put them back on and then put the nuts in place. That way I don't have to keep track of the nuts or those little tapered things. And it looks like this black piece just comes right off. Okay, it doesn't come right off. Okay, what I've done on this side is I was just pulling, and I used a flathead screwdriver to push down this bulgy part right here to help it slide through. I want to do it off camera. Okay, and there it is. And the back plate is done. Now at this point I'm going to remove the stickers, at least the ones that will be shown, before I hydro dip this. If you are not hydro dipping this, you might as well just leave the stickers on. Well, it's up to you. It's your transmitter. So yeah, I'm going to take that one off, and I'm going to take this one off. And that's going to do it for this video, guys. I was going to do the separate hydro dipping video and then come back to this one and reinstall everything, but this one's already 11 minutes long, so I'm ending it here. Look in the description, you'll find a link to the playlist where you can find the hydro dip video as well as the reinstall video should you need it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon.